Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be making a newer version of my hot cinnamon candy, and hopefully I can make this video a lot shorter. So stay tuned with us, and we'll see how this goes. We'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. We are going to make some hot cinnamon candy today. And I've already done a video on this. It was 30 minutes long. We're going to cut that in half. Hopefully, I got my Christmas shirt on. This is a Christmas candy because everybody loves it. But let me tell you some of the ingredients you're going to need. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it versus how a normal person would do it. Okay. So first off, you're going to need 1 1/4 cup of corn syrup, which it doesn't have to be, I've always used the light corn syrup and it seems to work. I haven't used the regular. It might be better if I did, I don't know. And you need 3 3/4 cups of sugar and 1 cup of water. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to add the water and the corn syrup and the sugar to the pot on the stove and put it on medium heat. And once you put it on medium heat, you're going to let it, you're going to constantly stir it until it starts to boil. If you don't stir it continuously, your sugar and stuff will burn to the bottom of the pan, and that's happened to me a couple of times, and that's not a good thing. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a good candy thermometer, which I got this at the dollar store, and it works really good. I've got a couple of metal ones, short ones for shorter pots, and I have the long ones for the long pot, for the tall pot that we have. So let's get this thing on the road. Okay, got our pot on the stove. Go ahead and turn it on to medium heat. And let's go ahead and add our ingredients. Let's make sure we get down to about medium heat. We don't want it too high. And it's different working with gas than it is working with electric. So I always add the water first. Make sure it all gets in there. Then I will add my sugar. Make sure it all gets in there. And then I will add my corn syrup. Now, sometimes I will add the corn syrup last. That way I can use some of the water in that 1 cup of water to rinse out the corn syrup. Let me get my spoon here. Let me get it all out of there. And this stuff is thick and wants to stick to that measuring cup. Okay, and from here out, what you're going to do, you are going to stir, 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 and use a wooden spoon. You don't want to use anything plastic. I currently do not know where our wooden spoon is. So I am going to use the stainless steel with a hole in it spatula or spoon, big spoon, and this process here takes about 15 minutes. So let me get this boiling and we'll be right back. Okay, if you watched my last cinnamon video, I used these candy molds. They're like rubber. Get them off of Amazon. They didn't melt under that extreme heat, and they worked extremely well, and they're fairly cheap. So you can use this, or you can just use, if you want to use just a cookie sheet, you have to put aluminum foil down on it and coat that whole cookie sheet after you have the aluminum foil on it with butter. That will keep the candy from sticking to the pan. And we'll be right back. So we're just going to continue to stir it. What I'm looking for now, before I add my next ingredient, I want to make sure that it's getting good and melted. And starting to heat up. You can see it's starting to turn a little bit more liquidy. That sugar's starting to dissolve. And this is about a good time right here if you want to add your food coloring. You can do that now. So let's go ahead and add some food coloring to it. Give it that pretty red, cinnamony, Christmassy color. And I just start adding and stirring until I get the color that I want. I like a deep red color. It's a pretty color. Might be a little bit more. Do a little bit more. And just continue to stir it, and we'll be right back. So you know, when you make or you eat homemade cinnamon candy that a relative made or that you made, you get a burst of cinnamon right at the beginning. And after you get that top layer of the cinnamon flavor off, you're basically just faced with a candy, a hard candy with just a slight bit of cinnamon taste in it. So I add the fresh ground cinnamon to it. It gives it a texture, and it gives it the cinnamon flavor throughout the whole candy. And the spiciness, you know, a lot of people, if you're eating cinnamon candy, especially the men, they want it to have that kick. They want it to have that, ooh, that wow factor, that bit of a spice, that bite. So I add the tiny bit of cayenne pepper. Y'all can leave that out if y'all want. Y'all can leave the ground cinnamon out if y'all want, and just make the regular cinnamon candy. That's what I do, and I enjoy it, and all the guys at work enjoy it. And it's a little bit too much for Teresa, but she does truly enjoy it. So we'll be back. All right, one thing I need to touch on, when you add your cinnamon oil, I'm gonna do a little bit different this time. I'll explain it when I put this in. But when you add this to your hot lava candy, it doesn't do anything till you start to stir it. And when you start to stir it, it creates a steam that will run you out of the house. It will, it's very strong. It's almost like you've been gassed. A lot of times I'll turn the vent on, I'll turn the AC on, and some people will put a fan in front of the pot as they do that. So I'm giving you fair warning on that. It's extremely, extremely potent. And most people use one of these little bottles for their cinnamon candy. And it works. It gives it a cinnamon flavor. But if you want it spicy and hot and wonderful and strong, use 3 of them. So I got that one there, and I got these 2 here. I'll use these 3. That's to mix it in the pot. And then there's a afterburner effect that I'll show y'all when I get done that will really put in the cinnamon flavor to it. We'll be right back. All right, so it hasn't started boiling yet. It's starting to boil just around the edges just a little bit. And this is the point where I add my extra ingredients in. So what I did was I ground up 1 cinnamon stick, and there it is. Oh, it smells so good. And just kind of sprinkle it around inside of that candy. And just a little bit of cayenne pepper. Now I usually put, it's not going to be very much, maybe about that much. You see that? And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for both these, and I'll explain it here in just a second. Okay, look at here. We got a boil. Let me turn the fire down just a little bit. And once you get it to boiling like this, it says to cover it. And let it sit for 3 minutes. I'm gonna give it a couple of good stirs. Give it an old cover up. Hit 3 minutes on the microwave. And let that go for just a second or two. I'm going to let this cover for 3 minutes. We're going to take the lid off of it. We're going to put the candy thermometer in, and it has to be up to 300 degrees. If it don't reach 300 degrees, then it's not going to work. So we'll be right back. You can really start seeing it come together. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? 3 minutes is up. It's been sitting there boiling and covered for 3 minutes without me touching it. Now I will give it a little stir, and we will add the candy thermometer to it and watch it. A lot of candy thermometers have a setting on them that says when the candy will be hard, like the glass one I have. It's around the 300 mark. It says hard candy. So it's a glass one. I have this one. I think I tried it. This, you don't want the bottom of your thermometer to touch the bottom of the pot. So I'm going to try to use the shorter one here and see if I can get it in there. There we go. And you can see it coming right on up. And occasionally I will give it a good stir. We are at 200. We got another 100 to go, and it's just a slow process from here. You don't want to overdo it. You want to take your time, because this is going to be some good stuff. We'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead and added 2 thermometers. For one, I don't know if this one is right. I know that one's right because I've used it many times. So I want to make sure. I've never used this one, so I want to make sure that I don't go over the 300 degrees. But it is looking pretty. Basically what it's, the rooster will not hush. Basically what it's doing right now is boiling the moisture out of it and making it thicker, and the smell here is incredible, and I haven't even added the cinnamon oil yet. So we'll be right back. Alrighty, both thermometers are right on the money, and we are at our 300, a little bit more than 300, and this is where it gets interesting. So let's go for this ride. Let me turn this gas off and get the thermometers out real quick. Get them over here. Oop, that one fell out. Yeah, I'm just gonna make a mess. Oh, it is hot. All right, now this is where it gets very interesting. Let me go ahead and get my cinnamons out, which I should have done had. Give me 1 second here. Okay, I got my cinnamon oils. And like I said, at this part right here, you can just add 1 bottle if you like. Or you can be on the wild side like me and add 4 or 5 bottles. You want that cinnamon to really kick in. There's 4. Let's go ahead and do a 5th one. So let me pour these in. We might have to turn that fan on. It might get a little noisy here. Cinnamon rolls. Oh, there goes the steam. There goes the steam. Let me get it mixed up as quickly as possible. This is very dangerous here because it will burn you. It'll burn your eyes. And I gotta turn the fan on. Oh, it's bad. Alright, here's where I'm going to attempt to pour it into these molds. It is strong. Oh my goodness. And it's hot. It's choking me a little bit. You might have to hear me cough a couple of times. It is hot. You see why I put the paper down. Trying to do it as fast as I can. My eyes are burning. My face is burning. I can hardly breathe. I was a little neater about it last time, but I put a lot more cinnamon in it this time than I did before. Be very careful, this stuff is extremely hot. Gotta scrape some of that out of there. Ooh-wee, it is strong. Okay. But all I'm going to be able to get out of it. Set it over here out of the way. We got stringies. It is strong, guys. I kind of made a little bit of a mess here. It'll be okay. And we'll be right back. I'm gonna let it cool off and I'll show you what the next step is. Okay, made a bit of a mess because of the amount of pain I was going through. But it's very simple to pop these things right out into the bowl. And y'all are gonna be pleasantly surprised at how delicious these things are. So I'm going to get all these things popped out, and I'll come back and show you what we're doing next. All right, look at that. All that beautiful, hard candy. It's extremely hot and spicy right now. I just had a piece and my mouth is burning, but we're going to do it up a notch. Put some more cinnamon oil in it. And some more cinnamon oil in it. And then from here, we mix it all up. can just see the oil just oozing off this candy. You know it's going to be spicy and good. Again, that's just my preference. You don't have to do that. That's just how I do it. I hope this video was a little bit shorter than the last one. God bless y'all. Tell your loved ones you love them. Please share this video. Get it out there. And hope y'all make some. Let me know if you do and how it turned out. And you can do your own ingredients. You can change it up just like I did or however you want to do it. Y'all have a good one. Merry Christmas.